Good morning, guys, and welcome to a new vlog. We're starting out the vlog this morning outside of Cycle Bar. I do not want to go in this morning. I am cramping so bad. I just got from Orlando this weekend and I've just been feeling so exhausted, so tired. I think it has to do with this Mercury retrograde, but at the same time, I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm just so exhausted. And then I've been cramping like ass. I guess that's a word to say. I've been cramping so bad. I'm cramping so bad this morning and I don't want to go into class, but I haven't been to spin all week and it's Wednesday today, so I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna go in there and just do my best. If I have to leave, I have to leave, but yeah, we're just gonna do our best. I'll let you guys know how I feel after. It's just one of those things that with my endometriosis, I just never know. Sometimes I just start cramping out of randomly. I still have the cyst and I think it's just not a good thing. But we're gonna do our best. I'm not gonna get discouraged. So I will see you guys after spin.
Just say I love you. Just say I love you. Just say I love you.
Okay guys, class is done. I have black fuzz everywhere from my jacket. I'm exhausted. Oh, it's a 45-minute class if I haven't said it before. And yeah, it's freaking killer. 45 minutes of cardio in the morning is killer. I took ibuprofen in the morning to help with my cramps, but to be honest, it didn't help too much. I'm at the point where like I literally take 800 milligrams of ibuprofen and it's barely doing anything to help me with the pain. It is what it is. I felt good in the beginning of the class, but every time I get to like the 23-minute mark is when I like just start hurting really bad. And so I have to kind of slow my pace down and have to do my own thing instead of listening to the instructor, because it's my only way of like kind of calming me down so that I don't have to leave class, because if not, then I've had the times where I've had to leave class because I'm in so much pain and I run to the restroom. But today was just one of those days where I just kind of like do my best, and I'm like praying mid-class that God helps me relieve some of this pain so that I continue the class and I can finish it strong, and I did, and I'm really proud of myself for that. I also will say, like, I know a lot of you girls have trouble when it's on your period and stuff. Just do the best you can. Just show up, do a little bit. Sometimes like you'll be in there and you'll be like, oh, I can only do a little bit, and then you'll be like, you know what, screw this, let me go heavy, and you end up having the best workout. At least for me, that's that way sometimes. So doing that, and then honestly talking to your instructor, like Priyanka is the one I came to today, and she knows that I have endometriosis, so she doesn't judge me. I don't feel judged, and she says in the beginning of class, do what you can, and she knows that when I'm going slow, it's because I'm in pain. It's not because I'm being lazy or whatever. So it's nice to have an instructor that understands you. So just talk to your trainer, talk to your instructor. I'm sure they'll understand, and if they don't, send them my way. But anyways, it's time to go home, eat, shower up, because Julie is coming over so we can do a Q&A for you guys, all things fitness. And yeah, so I'll give her a little introduction when she gets to the house. We're gonna do a workout as well, so I'm excited for that. So yeah, I need to go home and get ready super fast. Okay guys, so I am back from spin. I had some breakfast, showered really quick, did my makeup, and then literally just put dry shampoo in my hair because I did not have time to wash it today. And we're gonna work out in a little bit, so there was no point. But I wanted you guys to meet someone. So this is Julia. Let me go this way because the sun is like
better lighting.
There we go.
Hi guys.
Julia. I met Julia when we met Julia. I think Chris is the one that actually saw you first, because you were at summer shredding.
I was
2 years ago.
Last year.
It was last year.
Yes.
Really?
Crazy, right?
I've like been following you for
these past 2 years have just been like nuts. I'm like, what has even happened?
So wait, it was last year. Did you compete last year at summer shredding?
Yeah, so my first show was summer shredding. I won that one, and then 2 weeks later did Adela and won that one, and then pro card the next year. This year, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I met her because Chris was like, oh my gosh, you gotta meet this girl. She looks incredible. her physique is incredible. And I was like, okay, and then that's when I met you, and I was like, oh my gosh, she looked absolutely insane. She still does, but she just looked incredible.
I'm in my off-season bod, which Zach likes to call my boyfriend. He's like, girl, you're thick fit. And I'm like, yes, I'm thick fit.
No,
I still got the body fat, but like you could tell.
Yeah, no, so she
Something's
does
there.
you compete in wellness.
Wellness, yes.
Yeah, so she just got her pro card this year too, so it's really, really exciting just to follow her journey. So today we're going to be recording questions together. We both did like IG story for you guys to ask us questions. The majority of them are fitness related, so we're in competition stuff. So I haven't done a Q&A of that kind of stuff in a really long time, so I thought it would be cool to do it with Julia too. So yeah, let's get into the questions. Okay, so we'll get into the questions. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so question number 1. How does it feel like stepping on stage? I'll let you answer that one first.
Okay. So I thought that it was going to be absolutely terrifying because you have a ton of people staring at you and these giant bright lights just in your face. But honestly, I knew that bodybuilding was for me when I stepped on stage, and I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
I was like, right here. This is my moment. It was really scary. Like when you're posing, I was literally like shaking, not out of like nervousness, more out of like, it's really hard to hold poses.
Yeah.
But it was just, there's nothing like it. And you'll know right when you step on stage if this is something that's for you or if it's not for you.
Yeah, I agree. I think when you first start, it's even scarier. But I think like with the more competitions that you have under your belt, the more like, it's easier because it feels more comfortable. But I will say what's helped me, especially with this last show that I did, was just practicing, like making sure you were prepared for that stage. Like when you're on stage, it's an incredible feeling. Like you know, you said it's amazing, and you'll know automatically if it's for you. But every competitor is just as nervous as you are because there is so much to think about. Like it's not just about smiling up there because you do have a whole posing routine. So holding your posing, making sure your abs are tight. There's so much that goes into it. But once you're up there, like it's just an incredible feeling. And like Julia said, yeah, the lights are on you and everything, but if you just focus on the judges and just smiling, and honestly, it's like true. Before your shows, following the judges, kind of getting familiar with the judges helped me too, because you know, like I practiced with some of the judges, so like I knew them, and like knowing their faces and just kind of like focusing on them really helped me too. Honestly, I had like a bunch of friends in this last show. I didn't look at one of them. I was just, so
all
focused
judges,
all the judges. But I mean, regardless, everyone, you know, like the top Olympian, one of them was like my coach, and she to this day gets just as nervous when she steps on stage. But it's just an incredible feeling going. I
think that everyone, if you're even like slightly interested in it, I think you definitely need to try it.
Yes.
Just to see if it's for you, and then you can say, okay, this is for me, and maybe this is not for me, and you'll know pretty quickly.
Yeah, you'll know pretty quickly. But it's an amazing, like you said, it's like an amazing high. Like you're just up there.
You get off stage, and I don't know if you feel this, but I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, what happened? Did I look dumb?
Tell me what happened.
Yeah. Did I, like, you have all these thoughts in your head. I'm like, did I smile? Did I do this right? Did I do that right? Yep. But that's the initial time you get on stage, because when they do comparisons, it's so much fun.
It is.
When you do your routine, it's a little nervous, but when you go back on stage, because they'll bring you out multiple times, the second go around, you're like, oh, I got this. Yeah. It's a breeze.
That's how I felt at the last show, because it was a 2-day show, and the first time I was like I was more it wasn't nervous. I can tell that I wasn't as confident with my posing routine on stage. And then I came around the second time, and since I had already stepped on that stage, I knew how it felt. I knew where the judges were. I was like, bam. And then that's where I won my pro card. So it's just, it's not even about waiting a couple competitions. It's like getting on stage that day just a couple more times helps so much.
It helps so much. Okay, so number 2, how to let go of others who don't understand the sport.
How to let them go. Just let them go.
just say goodbye.
Bye.
No,
I know it's not that easy.
No, it's not. For the sport, you really do need a good support system. I will say that, like, having people or even a significant other who doesn't understand what you're about to go through can be very challenging. So I don't know if you want to give any.
I feel like maybe in the past, so when I was first getting into bodybuilding, I think that's when I had the most pushback from family members and from friends.
Yeah.
So when I first started getting into bodybuilding, the friends that I have, I can tell you right now, none of them are my friends now. Not because I necessarily said, you're not my friend because you don't support bodybuilding. It's just that our lifestyles didn't align. And if you're not aligning like that with the people that are around you in your circle, you're either going to do two different things. You're going to stay there and you're going to be really miserable, or you push past and it's uncomfortable for a short period of time, and then you realize, like, okay, this is why this happened, because there was something out there that was better for me and I couldn't be open to receiving it until I let something go.
Yeah.
So once I let that group of friends go, just slowly it just kind of dwindled out. They like to go out, they like to drink. Fitness wasn't a priority. I would get made fun of a lot for like bringing my food around, and I was just always like, I was like the joke. And then once I, slowly let them go, I was able to find this new group of friends that were super supportive.
Yes.
Some were bodybuilders and some weren't, but they just understood, like, it's unbelievable, but you have to be willing to go through that uncomfortability of letting people go.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to be stuck if you don't.
Yeah, and it's like you said, like, it's not like you go tomorrow and you're like, cut out. Like, bye. No, it's sometimes like relationships will just dwindle out, because the same thing with me. Like, at first, a lot of people didn't understand and they wouldn't make fun of me. But thankfully now, everyone I surround myself with, they don't have to be on prep, but they understand my grind. So they'll understand that, oh, I have to bring meals, or this, or like I prioritize my gym sessions, which is so important to me, because for me, it hasn't really been about the food as much as, like, my family doesn't understand why I work out so much. Like, they don't understand that. They're like, oh, the gym again? Why do you have to go to the gym every day? Like, they kind of like have a hard time accepting that, because even when I go travel with family, I still prioritize the gym because it's my lifestyle. And they're like, wait, are you going to go to the gym while you're here? And I'm like, yeah, I have to. Just let me know what time you want me to be at whatever social gathering. I'll make it happen. I'll be at the gym before it even inconveniences you, but I still have to make it a priority. But now with friendships, like, thankfully I'm at a point where everyone understands. And if you're about to go into prep or you're about to diet, just sit your family or your friends down and say, hey, like, I'm about to go on this journey and it's going to be really tough for me, so I just need some support. Can you do that for me? And most of the time they'll be understanding. If they're not, then, like Julia said, those are just relationships you kind of have to let go. And like, it sucks, but you have to, especially if you're going to compete, you have to prioritize yourself.
Exactly. And I think that the one thing that you said that really stuck out to me was that you communicated these things. And that's something that I didn't do the first prep. I was just like separating myself, and nobody understood why. But the second time, I was literally like sat my parents down and was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm very serious about this. And I even just let them know. And it made it so much easier because they weren't offering me food. They weren't saying, like, why do you have to do this? It was tough for them to see me suffer the way that I did, but they knew that it was for a greater purpose, and it was all just came down to communication.
I agree. So next question leads us kind of to this one. Do you have to tell friends no a lot? I don't know if you have current friends that you have to say no to. Like,
not any current friends, but in the past, yes. So I'm just kind of, I guess right now I'm going to put myself into someone else's shoes that is surrounded by people that they have to say no to. I feel like explaining the why behind why you have to do what you have to do, kind of like how Jazzy said that she prioritizes going to the gym even when she's on vacation, but she's not doing that for any vain or ridiculous reason that people think. She's most likely doing that, and definitely correct me if I'm wrong, because it's good for her mental health. It makes her feel confident in herself and gets her day started off right. And that's the majority of the reason why we do what we do. Not because we want to look our best, it's because we want to feel our best inside, and working out really does that.
Yeah, I guess I never thought about it that way. To others, I'm sure it's like, almost like I guess it does come off like, oh, she just wants to look good.
You're better than us by working out, and like, that's really not it.
No, I don't go work out because I'm like, oh, I have a tight dress today I need to fit into. I go work out because it's part of my lifestyle, like you said, and it makes me feel good to have, my body just feels good when I move around, especially if I know I'm going to be on vacation and most of it's going to be eating or sitting down, like, and communicating with family. I need to get a workout in so that my body just feels good. I have more energy, and it's just part of my lifestyle now. But yeah, I don't have, thankfully, friends now that I have to say no to. Occasionally, like on prep, like they'll know, like, hey, we're gonna go out. We just want to invite you out of, respect, or we want to be nice, but we know that you probably are not gonna come out. And we're like, no, we know, we appreciate it. But I say no. And they are very understanding. And it was something I was telling Julia too. If you have friends who don't have the same lifestyle, that is completely okay. And you can still hang out with them. You can just tell them like, hey, I'm not going to be going out to dinners and party and stuff like that, but how about one of the weekends you come over and we play a card game, or we paint, or we do a puzzle, or you do whatever the heck you want to do, but it doesn't revolve around food. That way they can still be a part of your life and feel like, okay, you're not completely shutting them down, and you still feel like you're doing something out of just your normal routine, because during prep, it's so easy to just be like, wake up, cardio, eat, cardio,
you
work out,
literally turn into
sleep.
like a prep robot, and you just like wake up and go to sleep.
Yeah, it's literally ta 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 ta. So it's kind of nice. But if you have to tell your friends no, don't be, I guess, like ashamed of saying no. Like you have to, especially if you're going to compete and you're going to take your physique to the next level, you're going to have to say no a lot.
Yeah, and I think that's just a general like setting boundaries rule that can be put into all aspects of your life.
Yeah.
Not with just friends. Like you need to set boundaries around things so that you can show up the best version of yourself that you possibly can. And that's definitely one of them. And most likely if you say no, and this is why, because this is really important to me, blah, 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 they'll understand. But if they're the kind of friends that when you say no, they start guilt tripping you, you don't like us anymore, you don't want to hang out with us, come on, you're being too strict, then I would really assess if these are the friends that are going to be long-term and are going to be,
right.
I always like to think, are these people that I'm surrounding myself with, are they making me smarter? Are they making me happier? Are they making me better?
Great, yeah.
If the answer is no to any of those, I would say no.
No, yeah. Yeah.
It's a harsh thing, but
I agree. That's the only way you're going to get better.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. How do I start the bodybuilding lifestyle?
Ooh, you just do it. I mean, if you want, I'm a firm believer in like you act like the person that you want to be. So for me right now, and I can give you like a personal example, since I came back from the Olympia, anytime that I want to make a decision that is off of my track of what my goal is, I say to myself, what would Miss Olympia do? Yeah. And then that drives me to make the decision that is actually true to myself, because our brain is going to sit there and tell you to eat the bad thing, to not go and train, to show up terribly in your relationships. Mm-hmm. And it's so easy to feed into that. And as long as you have like some sort of grounding statement that brings you back down to earth. And for me right now, it's what would Miss Olympia do? Yeah. I completely forgot about the question, but that allows me to live the bodybuilding lifestyle that I know that I need to in order to reach that goal.
Yeah, and I mean, starting like, you said, it's just doing it, like working out, setting a routine. I think most importantly, setting a routine. That's going to help you out the most, and sticking to the routine. Mm-hmm. With any aspect of your life, especially with bodybuilding, more than anything, you have to be disciplined. You set a routine. I don't care what time you went to bed. I don't care if you didn't freaking get any sleep. If you set the alarm at 6 a.m. because you needed to train at 6 a.m., your ass needs to get up at 6 a.m. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, that's more than motivation, more than anything. You need to be very disciplined. And that's how you start. I think that's the biggest thing is, are you ready to be disciplined? Are you ready? Because no one is telling you what to do. You yourself is telling you what to do.
You're your own accountability partner. Right. And it's easy to convince yourself to not do it.
Yeah, to not do it. And it's a learning lesson. Sometimes you'll be like, okay, I'll be fine. And then we'll wake up and I'll do it later. And then you're like, fuck, I didn't have any time to do it. I can't let that happen again. And that's happened to me before. But just getting started, setting up a routine is like probably the most important thing. And then everything else just kind of flows.
Yeah. As long as you have the routine down, and don't I know that I did this, but I always go 0 to 100 on everything. And if you go 0 to 100 on anything, most likely you're going to only do it about 50%.
Yeah.
So if you want to live the bodybuilding lifestyle, do something that's realistic. I'm going to do cardio this many times a week. I'm going to wake up at this time every day. I'm going to train this many times. Don't go 0 to 100 because most likely you're going to fail, and then you're going to have a lack of self-confidence because you failed, and you're going to think you're a failure even though your standards for yourself were way too high.
Yeah, it's like you said, like you can't go from doing 0 cardio to cardio 5 days a week, even if it's 30 minutes. Like you're not used to
I would
that.
die.
Yeah, so set 2 times this week. Next week, let me bump it up to 3 times a week, and kind of go like that and see how you perform, and then progressively get better. And then you're like, okay, am I ready to prep? Am I ready to go fully force into doing a competition? But yeah, guys, just setting up a plan and not going 0 to 100 is going to help you out.
0 to 100.
Okay, next question. How long into prep did you cut sugar-free foods out?
So I did 2 weeks out. Because there's nothing wrong with having like sugar-free options. Like I'm like the #1 promoter of like, put the sugar-free stuff in, put the Splenda or the stevia, use a sugar-free syrup, because at the end of the day, it's calories in, calories out. So, but once you get to a point in prep, your body is so susceptible to bloat and discomfort in your stomach because you're eating like a bunch of whole foods. So at the 2-week mark, Zach, who's my boyfriend and my coach, he cuts out the sugar-free stuff so that we can remove as much bloat as possible and then go into peak week with a pretty clear set point, I guess.
For me, it's different. Like the preps that I've done, like I've cut them out like 3-4 weeks prior. This last prep, I had almost none during my entire prep. Because my coach didn't let me have anything. Like nothing. And I did everything like super hardcore. I'd probably have like a sip of a Diet Coke here and there. But that was it.
Wow.
I did have a little bit. I will say I did have, the only sugar-free stuff that I had was 1 pump into my coffee, like the sugar-free syrup. But that was it, like the coffee syrup. But other than that, I never had sugar-free stuff because my coach was so like, I could never post about it. If I had like literally mushrooms or any kind of extra veggie on my plate, he would like rip me a new one. So my prep was very intense.
That's like hardcore bodybuilder stuff.
Oh yeah, he was very hard. Like no ketchup, no nothing, no sauce. Like it was like dry.
I would literally like my hot sauce.
But I honestly, I think like cutting it, just listening to your body, because I think like what you said, it just causes a lot of bloating, and you'll notice, because I notice in my body when I cut it out, it sucks ass, but your body just responds better. You're not as bloated. So cutting it out maybe 2-3 weeks before your show will help, but everyone's different. I definitely would not do anything past 2 weeks, because you kind of want the week before peak week to kind of like help you flush any like bloat out. But yeah, girl, if I do another prep, definitely gonna keep the sugar-free stuff because
it saves you so much.
Yeah, it does. It makes things not feel so.
I remember
miserable.
literally like holding my food like it was a baby, like, I love you.
Yeah.
I'm never letting you go.
Yeah, no, it's insane, but
you get a little crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. How do you stay body positive off season? Man, that was a hard one.
I'm gonna be honest, it's really hard.
Yeah, it's
like
hard.
really hard. I struggled with it. I just want to like pat myself on the back, but I'm doing a lot better this time around.
Oh no, I want to pat yourself on the back because you're doing so much better.
She's seen it all too, because I mean, I literally went to 170 pounds. How tall are you?
5'4".
Okay, I'm 5'2". So imagine being 170 pounds, like with it's a lot of weight for our size.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
There's nothing wrong with being 170 pounds, but there is a set weight and a set point that your height and body should naturally be at. And I literally, what really just triggered me to know that something was wrong is I was walking downtown Austin with my boyfriend. I was meeting his dad for the first time, and I was walking and I couldn't even walk. I was complaining about walking because my ankles hurt, and I was like wheezing.
Yeah.
I was like, this is terrible. I'm an athlete.
Yes.
And I can't even walk.
Oh my God.
It was just too much weight for my body to handle. So I had a really hard time with the whole body positivity thing, my last show. And I'm not going to lie, there was times that I didn't look in the mirror, that I would just, I would wear certain things and dress a certain way to hide myself as much as I could, because it was really hard day to day. And it wasn't more so the way that I would look at my body. It was that for sure. It was more so the guilt and the shame that I felt because I let myself down.
Yeah.
That was overwhelmingly unbearable some days.
Yeah.
But this time I'm doing a lot better. Like, my weight is at a really healthy weight for my body. My stage weight was about 138, and now I'm sitting at about 150, which is 20 pounds less than what I was in the last off season.
That's really
which is, and I feel great. That's the thing. So
and you'll only feel, when did you compete last?
it was July 31st.
Of this year, right? Yeah, you're gonna end up feeling so much better in a few months.
Yes.
I think for me too, like with my off season, I did so well this last show compared to all the shows that I've had. I did really, really well, and I'm just like really proud of myself for it, because
It's a hard thing.
It's a hard thing to do, but I tried so hard to keep up with like my routine as much as I could. I scaled back cardio from like 2 hours to like an hour, and it felt like a breeze at that point, because
You're like, shoot!
yeah, you're like, I can do an hour, because you're used to 2 hours. So just scaling it back a bit, and then still kind of like making sure you don't buy the junk food at home, because I think a lot of competitors, what they'll do, they'll get all this food and they'll keep it all there. I told my friends, I'm like, don't give me a lot of food like after my show, like just give me a few little candies.
That's what I told my parents after this last show. I said, no food, no cookies, no nothing, because you're gonna have it afterwards, and throughout the week. So I'm just no.
Yeah.
If you want to bring me something like flowers, or I don't know.
Yeah, the least temptation after your show, the better. But yeah, like it's having. Everyone, I think every competitor deals with it, like the body dysmorphia after prep. And not only because you could be as perfect as you can be with your reverse, and you're still gonna have it, because you're gonna naturally put on body fat. You're gonna look bloated after your whole peak week. You're your hormones are gonna be a wreck for a little while, no matter how perfect you are. For me, what helped me is like, I knew like, after my show, I was like, okay, I'm gonna deal with like hormonal imbalances, water weight for a few months. It's gonna take me a few months. So just having kind of like, okay, by February and March, I'm gonna start feeling better, and just kind of working towards that every day. I didn't like look at myself in the mirror every single day and like pick myself apart. I did hide in my clothes for a little bit, and I think that it's okay. And like if you know that you're doing everything you can, like you're doing cardio and everything, like I think it's okay to hide yourself and not pick yourself apart, because I think a lot of people are like,
that's what you need to do.
If that's what you need to do.
That's what I needed to do.
That's what I needed to do. I was like, I don't want to look at myself in the mirror, because I'm not going to be positive. I know I'm not going to be like, you look great.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not going to stand there and be like, yes, girl.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's hard. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to even look at myself. I'm not going to judge myself. I'm just going to like get pretty, do whatever makes me feel confident, comfortable, go to the gym, do my routine, and I know naturally itself will like work itself, like I'll feel better. And I did. By February, March, I felt great. I was like, okay, I feel good. My body's finally balancing out, but I had to make the steps necessary to get my body in check.
You have to set yourself up for success, for sure.
Yeah, you can't just be like, I'm not gonna look at myself and eat like garbage and not do anything, right? You have to work. You still have to work really hard on your off season, but like you said, I think everyone goes through like just looking at yourself differently, because you reach a level of leanness that's just ridiculous.
It's unrealistic, and it's not normal in regular life, and it's not healthy in regular life. And if you go into your off season realizing that this off season is a different goal, and I think that's what really helped me, is that on season, I also don't really call it off season anymore, because that lets my brain know that like, you're off your routine. But when I'm competing, I completely lost my train of thought, but you said something about, what was it?
Clothes? No, like having a routine after.
Oh yeah. When I'm in the off season, I wouldn't do the things that I do when I'm on season.
Yeah.
It would literally just be completely flip-flopped. And I think that was, like you said, a routine is super important. Yeah.
And not cutting like cardio completely.
Yeah, I just still did it. I just did a little bit less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that will help out a lot. I think a lot of competitors, like you said, they'll just go like off. Next week's like, I'm done with prep. Let me just go hardcore. And your body can't handle that. Like it cannot. So just having that plan, but not feeling guilty. Like I said, I think everybody, it takes your body 3 to 4 months to get back used to like, you know, just itself and feel confident and kind of lose all that water weight that you're holding. Because unless you like go off the walls and you binge hardcore, a lot of that weight will like naturally just kind of go away as you keep working. At least I felt that for myself. Like I was like, okay, I'm working, I'm doing my cardio, everything will just kind of balance itself out. And it did. And now I have like this lifestyle that I love. For me, it was like, okay, like it's a lifestyle, it's not off and on. So I got to keep up with that lifestyle.
Exactly.
You know? And that helped me a lot.
That's huge.
Okay. How do you control emotions or / deal with relationships during your prep?
With my parents, I was just communicative because my parents literally live 2 buildings down from me. And I was just like, if they wanted to hang out with me or see me, I would be like, I literally can't today. So just communicating what you were feeling and why, and that you would maybe commit to another day or something when you were feeling a little bit better. But as far as like relationships, I think it's easier if you are on prep with your significant other because they're literally probably feeling as depleted as you.
Yes.
I think that my last show was easier on our relationship with Zach and I because we were both on prep. So we were both tired, we were both feeling the same things. And if we got irritable, it was like, whatever.
Yeah.
But this time he decided he's not going to compete anymore, and I'm getting like super serious about competing. And I know that I wasn't the best partner that I could have been because at a certain point, I'm already not a really touchy-feely person, like at all. And when you're on prep, that kind of, it gets a lot worse.
It gets way worse.
So I would just, every single day, I was being really, I think I was just being too self-centered. Everything revolved around me and my prep, and anything that he would do was like intrusive into my life. And now I'm looking at it, I'm like, that is terrible.
Yeah.
So by me doing that and really removing myself emotionally from him so much, after prep, we had to spend a lot of time just building that relationship and trust back because I removed myself so much. So it can be really, really hard. But as long as you're, I think, dedicated to the relationship, because I've never looked at a relationship other than the one with Zach and I as something that can continuously grow. It was just like, you're my partner, cool. That's literally all it was. There wasn't no substance to it. So we've been working and it's been the best it's ever been, I think, even though we went through that time where we were disconnected.
Yeah. Now, I think what a lot of people have like are concerned about prepping with their significant other. And let me tell you, it is the best thing ever because you both are suffering. So you're not like, you both are a little moody and you both have your own routines, but you guys are both like zoned in, like you both eat the same stuff anyway, so like you help each other out. Like Chris and I would help each other out, and then we both at the end of the day, we didn't want to like have sex, we didn't want to do anything.
You're like,
so
cool,
it's
bro.
like, cool, we'll just stay
chill
here and just eat and chill. Like we're both exhausted and like we were like zombies, but it was kind of nice. But I don't know how it would be now, like if one of us, like I'm very like, if Chris was on prep fully, I think, you know, I would help him out as much as I can help him out, and if I'm not on prep. But I could see him being like you because he is touchy-feely, but when he's on prep, he's full on self-centered. I don't give a crap about anybody else.
I am literally tunnel vision.
Just me. And that can be hurtful sometimes. So
it
we
is.
definitely
and my
would
boyfriend's a lot more sensitive.
Yeah, I
like,
am. Well, that's
yes,
me,
he's
so.
the feminine, I am the more masculine.
Okay.
So it hurts his feelings, and like it's just for me, I'm like literally probably a lot like Chris, tunnel vision. Nothing else matters.
Nothing
and
else matters.
If you want really good relationships with friends and family, that's not how you need to be.
No, you need to like communicate with others and kind of like take a step back and be like, okay, you can be self-centered when it comes to your prep, but you have to make time for those people that care about you.
Because it's not their fault that you're doing this.
Exactly.
This is your decision. And that was the one thing that I had to keep saying this, like, this is your decision. You're deciding that you need to prep and do cardio and train and prioritize all these things. So don't make it their fault.
Right.
And that goes for even like a regular diet. Like if you're just on a regular diet and you're finding it really difficult, it's not their fault because it's your decision.
It's your decision. Yeah,
Take ownership.
And I think that's really hard.
Yes.
To take ownership because I struggled a lot. I struggled a lot and then he was like, I didn't make you get on prep. I didn't tell you to do this. You chose to, so you have to accept that and just, if you're in pain or you're suffering, just fucking embrace it. Like embrace the suck. Like what
Embrace
people
the
say,
suck.
it's not my fault. You can't take out your anger on anybody else. And I'm like,
That's a hard thing to hear.
Like,
my boyfriend definitely said
yeah.
that to me too, and I was like, yeah, man,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, like
Shut up.
Yeah, shut up. But it is like but it's so important to be self-centered. This sport is very self-centered because it's all up to you, but you have to make sure that you prioritize your relationship at the same time. Like communicate with them.
Because at the
what
end
they're
of the
expecting.
day, like, I'm not going to be a bodybuilder forever.
Right.
My family is forever.
Right.
I would hope eventually someday that Zach is going to be my forever.
Right.
So if I'm going to ruin that because of bodybuilding, like, to me, that's not, I'm going to end up really bitter and alone.
Yeah, with your chicken.
Yeah.
With your chicken.
I'm just eating my chicken and broccoli all alone.
Yeah, you
I'm
don't
really
want that
buff,
life.
but I'm sad.
Yeah, you don't want that life. Okay. All right, next question. Did you ever snack accidentally during prep? Yes. I think to a point, all competitors, I don't want to say
If they say they don't, they must be lying.
Yeah, because like for me, I never like went and binged or anything. What helped me, and I will say this on camera if my coach is watching at the time, I have really good self-control, but I need chocolate in my life. I do, like, to function. And
I love chocolate. It's my favorite.
I would allow myself those little mini Reese's, those little mini ones, or a mini Kit Kat every single night. One. And like 5 grams of carbs. One. I would savor that damn chocolate. Like,
She'd literally be there, like, unwrapping it, like
this.
Do you ever watch SpongeBob?
Oh, yeah.
So remember when he eats the Krabby Patty and he literally brings his teeth out like this and it's like...
Yeah, literally. But that helped me so much this prep.
It did.
Just kind of keep sanity. Like I was like, and then during, like that was probably like at the 16-week out mark. Once I got closer to like 8 to 6 weeks out, I had it when I really felt like I needed it. So maybe 2 to 3 times a week.
So that you have like almost like a backup. Like, if I feel this is my go-to, instead of if I feel this, it goes into like a full-out binge. Because my last show, I was struggling with binge eating.
Yeah.
When I got after the summer shredding and the Adela, but this time it was more so I would eat like an excess of vegetable. Like I'd have more vegetables, things that were higher volume but lots of lower carbs if I needed it, or like, because I just like to bite on things. Like I like the action of hand to mouth, like sitting and eating. So I would do that, or I would have I'd do like a shot of sugar-free syrup in my mouth. Or something.
Wow! Okay, I think that would help.
Yeah, I was like.
That would help. I think like don't ever feel bad, because I did when I first started prepping. I'm like, wow, I'm such a failure because I had a bite of this cookie. I'm such a failure. And then I started being around more competitors, and they were like, oh no, honey, everybody does it. Yeah. It's not, you don't binge eat, but you'll get in a cookie here and there. Like, you know, like you'll take a bite of something. It's not the end of the world. Like you're human.
Yeah. Just like having like a cookie when you're just like a regular person isn't going to make you gain a bunch of weight.
Right.
It also isn't going to make you super fat or gain weight or anything like that. And on prep, you are going so hard that cookie's most likely not going to do that much. Yeah. As long as you don't make it like a routine, because then you're ruining it.
Yeah, you can't have a cookie every single night or like multiple cookies. But I do know people, Chris, who literally does not eat anything off his damn plan. He is so
I wish I was Chris.
I wish I was Chris too. And then it would make me feel bad because I'm like,
right?
I just had a little chocolate. And I'm like, you know what? We're 2 different people. If this is what keeps me sane through my prep, this is what keeps me sane through my prep. And
Agreed.
It is what it is. Like, he doesn't have to. It's fine. I had my one little piece of chocolate that kept me sane. And he also helped me towards the end. He was like, okay, like, let's limit your one chocolate to 2-3 times a week. And I'm like, okay. And he'd ask me, okay, you sure you really want it today? And then I'd be like, you know what?
That's
I
really
don't think
awesome.
I really want it today. And I'd put it back up, and I didn't. And then I'd forget about it. And then I'd forget about it for 2-3 days, and then back again. Okay, now I really need it. So it kind of helped, and he never judged me for it. So it was nice. But everybody occasionally sneaks in a cookie, and if they tell you they don't,
they're lying.
freaking lying. They're lying.
Or they're just a freak of nature.
Yeah, like Chris. Whatever. All right. We're almost done, guys. 2 more questions. Number 9, waist trainer thoughts, because we both wear waist trainers.
So for me, I have never used the waist trainer in the way that they're supposed to be used. So a lot of people waist train and they do it like all day, and I've seen people get results from it. So they'll wear it for a long amount of time, and like it actually will start shaping your waist. But I just can't do that. Like I don't want to wear it all day. I wear it because it helps with support. Like I wear it to the gym only and to cardio. So I'm wearing it maybe like a max of like an hour and a half a day. And for me, it's just comfort and like support. That's really all that I like it for. And I also like to do the cream, and that makes me sweat a little bit more. Just makes me feel really good and like I'm putting some work and effort in.
Yeah.
That's really the main reason that I use it.
I've waist trained for a while, and right now I'm only using it in the gym as well. So I use it for my gym and my cardio sessions, but during prep I do like to use it a lot because I notice a lot more results with my waistline when I use it versus when I haven't, because I've done a prep with it and I've done a prep with completely out it, and with it my waist got smaller.
So I'm curious too if like, because I've been really curious about doing like a test trial of like doing one prep not using it and one prep where you use it like the majority of the day. And I bet you that your waist would come in tighter.
Waist
I've never done that. So
yeah, I did. One prep I didn't use it, and then the other prep I did, and I was like, my weight. Well, actually, my first prep I used it, and that's when I was like, my waist is so small. And then my second prep I did it, and it didn't get as small as my first prep, and I went even harder in the gym. So like my prep was even harder, and it was more strict. So I truly believe in waist trainers if like, you know, you have a purpose to it. Like you have to make sure you're on your routine and you're on a diet and everything. It works. Not everyone agrees with it. I know you don't have to agree with waist trainers. I know it, like everyone has their theories. It moves your organs, this and that. But I know that it does provide results. So if you, for me right now, I wear it in the gym because it helps me like keep my core tight. It helps me reduce
like a reminder.
Water weight there. I feel better, especially with IBS. Like me having it some support in my stomach helps me out a lot. And just like it makes me feel really, really good when I wear it. So I wear it for the gym to kind of give me support, keep my core tight, keep my waist small, and I feel like it's like an extra boost when I'm doing cardio. You know, you're like, my waist is like small.
You're like, yeah, I'm snatched. I love doing it. There's like a confidence aspect behind it. But I think that if you really want to see like the results that are supposed to come from it, you need to wear it for like a significant amount of time. You have to wear it the time that they recommend. And me, I just like, I'm not going to do that unless for a show, which I'll probably do this next time.
Yeah, for the show I did. I woke up and I had it on. I had one for the house, which I didn't sweat in. Then I changed it to my sweating one, and then I would wake up like from like 9 a.m. to like 8 p.m. I had like a waist trainer on basically, but
I'm gonna try that because my waist did not get as small this time around because my body was just like, girl, you're done. So that was a thing, but also I wasn't wearing it as much. So
maybe try it this time.
I know, I'm excited.
We both work with Squeeze Me Skinny if you guys want to try it out.
Link will be down below.
So okay, last question. What are your next competition plans?
So for me, what we're thinking is to compete in August of next year. So I'm going to spend this entire year building as much as I can. So now that you guys have seen that, like we went to the Olympia, Jazzy went to the Olympia too in her past video, and just seeing that and seeing what the standard was set for almost, you know, for all the divisions and for me for wellness in particular, I'm like, all right, this is what I need to work on. And I've just never been this motivated in my entire life. And that's why I have the phrase now, like, what would Miss Olympia do?
Yeah, that's great.
So I want to be on the Olympia stage next year. I'm going to be on the Olympia stage next year. And I need to act like that person from here on out if that's something that I want to do. Because I know that this is what's for me. Yeah. It's just...
So for you, you would compete in a pro show in August?
Yeah, so I would
have to qualify for Olympia, right?
Yeah, so when you're a pro, you have to qualify for the Olympia. They might do top 2 at a pro show for wellness because they need to get more people in it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which would be awesome for me being so new at it.
Wait, so you would just have to get top 2 to qualify for Olympia?
Potentially. If they do it again this year. Yeah. They did that last year or this year to get people into it because there's no one.
Yeah.
So either top 2 at a pro show or you get enough points to qualify. And then once I qualify, then you compete at the Olympia. So that's the goal.
That's great. That is great. So for me, I just went to Olympia, and as you guys saw, I'm with Dark Sport now, and everything revolves around competing with them. They're
true. They have a lot of My favorite wellness girls are with them.
Yes.
The top 3.
Oh God, they look absolutely incredible.
I'm so jealous.
Incredible. They look like Wonder Woman in real life. It's just, I mean, you do too, but it's just insane.
They're like way, I want to be at that level.
It's
so.
insane. And my plans were to not compete again. I just loved my lifestyle. I love my lifestyle that I have now. You guys know that. I keep up with my cardio routine. I do really good during like the week. I let myself go out on the weekends with my friends. I love my lifestyle, but being around that, it just set up a fire in my butt, and I'm like,
up my butt.
I'm like, I don't know.
I already decided no, but now I'm so motivated.
I'm so motivated. I want to. And like you guys know, I had a really tough prep last year. I prepped for almost 40 weeks last year.
You did.
So I didn't have the best experience. Like I loved the experience I went through because it made me the woman that I am right now, and like the lifestyle that I have right now, I'm so appreciative of it. So, you know, who knows? I may compete next year if I feel like it's the right time. You know, this whole year I've kind of taken back to just enjoy my life, and I've done so good keeping up with my lifestyle. So maybe prep next year will be even like, I think if I do decide, will be almost easier. You know
I
what I
think so
mean?
too.
I don't have to do a 40-week prep, and so I for right now, I am heading in the direction of the goal would be to start prep next year in the beginning of the year so that I could compete and hopefully get my pro card next year, and then we'll see how Olympia goes. But just seeing every Olympian athlete up there is just so motivating. It is so motivating to be like the best of the best. And
I don't think it actually hit me like these are literally the best in the world.
In the world.
And it's a hard thing to like realize.
It's hard to realize it like when you're seeing it on your phone, and then when you're there, you're like same thing. I was like, wait, these are like the top, like the best of the best. Like this is insane.
Yeah, you see them on Instagram and you're like, wow, they're really cool. But then seeing them on stage, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And if you're a competitor, you know what it took to get there. So
Yeah.
it's so hard not to just want to go into it and want to appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
And I think obviously you have the competing is anybody can compete, but there takes like a couple of components. It's like your overall look, which is like your face and your physique. It's having some unique quality that makes your body different, and then obviously having the genetics and muscle, and you have those 3 things.
Yeah, thank you.
And obviously, like, I don't want to like push you into doing something you don't want to, but you're just like, if I were to have a bikini physique, it would be like your physique. You and Kerrigan Pike are my favorites.
Oh, thanks.
And it's just but it's a hard thing to commit to.
It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing, and like it's hard because like with what I've struggled the most is like, you know, Chris and everyone around me now, like a dark sport, they were like, dude, like you could be up there. You have the potential. And Chris is like, if I had your body and I knew that, because I know that you could be great, like why aren't you doing it? He's like, because you could be up there. And I'm like, I know, but it's just, there's a lot to think about. But it's an amazing feeling because you know what it took to get up there. So that's what my plans are, but I'm excited to see you, and I'm glad that you're taking, I think having this year off too is going to help you out so much.
Yes.
So that's incredible.
You need that time to like figure out what your life is when it's not surrounded by bodybuilding on prep. And I feel like we've been doing that, both of us have been kind of doing that this year, which is really important because I need to figure out who am I when I'm not prepping.
Yeah.
And that's going to help me be a better competitor for sure.
I agree. Well, thank you guys so much for the questions. I hope you guys enjoyed it and it wasn't too long because Chris always tells me I ramble too much. But
I ramble too much too,
everybody
guys know.
loves it. Everybody loves it. So, all right, guys. So we are done with the Q&A and we're going to get a workout in just a little bit. So we'll see you guys at the gym. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay, bye. Passion fruit.
Yeah, it's good. Are you gonna dome it? Are you just gonna dome it?
I might.
Okay, do you have water?
I do.
Okay.
Did you say dome it?
Yeah, I didn't dome it.
I don't. I've never heard that.
Dome it?
You're right. It's in the air and I just coughed it up.
Are you pretty okay with caffeine tolerance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's up there.
You wanna get your water ready?
It's spicy.
Just don't breathe when you take it in. Don't breathe from your throat either. Yep.
That tastes so good.
It's really good, but it's like
oh my god.
Spicy. I'm just gonna take a half scoop. took a full scoop on Monday before now I got back. My caffeine intolerance has gone down or something because I was wired for hours.
Have you ever had this, like, you laying in bed, you're like, I definitely had too much caffeine
Yes,
today?
literally just happened to me in Orlando. We got some like energy drink at the gym. We went to the gym late when we got to our hotel and we went to the gym. And Chris like, just take the whole thing, you'll be fine. Or just take 3/4. I'm like, babe, I'm not gonna be able to sleep. He's like, you will. I'm like laying in bed at 1 a.m. I'm like, I have to be up in 3 hours. Are you freaking
You're like, do I
kidding me?
sleep or just stay up?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that tastes so good. Wow. I've never tried their products before, so.
Oh, spread today, guys. Jazzy saves you 20%.
Use it or lose it.
Use it or lose it.
Woo! I don't like it. I'm scared.
I literally have screamed every single day because of this damn. This is from The Grudge, right? I think. This little lady. I literally scream every single time I come through here.
I don't like her.
She gotta feel it in your soul. She gotta believe it, you gotta know. She gotta wake up and dream and go get it. Her visionary knows no limit. Do it big so your name be remembered. Play your cards like the hand of a winner. Eat your breakfast but make room for dinner. Got a hunger for success and my dreams get bigger.
You wanna dream big, you better dream large. Blocking lanes on the boulevard. Calling shots cause you're in charge. You wanna dream big, you better dream large. You wanna live life like a renegade. Come to the top of your piece of fame. Calling shots cause you're in charge. You wanna dream big, you better dream large. 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 You say you wanna be famous, stand 10 feet tall, a rooftop to the basement. You wanna own it all. I see the hunger in your eyes. You wanna flash like a classic car. Got the hustle and the grind. I'll burn hotter than a star.
Yeah. This is the time of your life, the moment to live, the moment to shine, the moment to rise and take over the world. I'm on top of everything, on top of my game. Big city life, big city dreams. Think large, go hard. Shine light for the ones in the dark. Stay true to yourself and go big from the heart.
Okay, guys, so we are done with the workout. It was kind of a combination of both of us. I haven't done hamstrings in a long time, so Julia pushed me with hamstrings today.
You pushed me with glutes.
Okay, good. Yay! I want to see you like doing like freaking 8 reps. I mean 8
I
plays
know,
on that
right?
machine because I think you got it.
I think I can do it.
That's
it's easier to do it on there. Like, it's more comfortable.
Yeah, and then it's the free weight just requires so much more balance, so it's always.
And it's so much more setup, and I get annoyed with it.
Yeah, I know, but
Just to be honest.
it was nice having a workout partner, guys, because I was telling Julia, Claudia's not working out with me anymore, Aurelia's pregnant, so it's just been me and myself, and it was nice to have someone push me, so I'm so glad you were able to come today. All Julia's stuff will be linked below so that you guys can follow her on Instagram. I'll even put your podcast there. Did not know you had a podcast. So I'll put her podcast there so you guys can follow her as well. And then yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and the talk, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.